Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR My Career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we take on a crown jewel here, the Brickyard 400, as we are set to potentially witness a tie of a modern era record. Matt Kenseth coming off of 3 consecutive wins, looking for his 4th straight win, which would match Jeff Gordon's 1998 stat, as he as well takes over the championship lead here coming into this weekend. Now Tony Stewart in P2 in the standings, followed by that guy right there, the Lowe's 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Few drivers as well in the mix that aren't quite in that top 3, the likes of Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kevin Harvick. Speaking of Kevin Harvick, we actually had some juicy kind of news this weekend as Kevin Harvick calling out his teammate of Jeff Green. If you guys remember, earlier in the season, Jeff Green actually won in California and came out and said how it was kind of a shock considering he doesn't feel like he's getting the equipment he should be at Richard Childress Racing. And Kevin Harvick was asked in the media center this weekend how the relationship has been between him and Jeff Green. And Harvick actually came out and said the better driver gets the better cars, completely throwing Green under the bus. Now, Jeff Green fired back immediately. He said that he hasn't even gotten a chance to show what he's able to do because RCR was prioritizing the 29 before Jeff Green had even come in. And look what I did in winning in California with the lesser equipment. So bold words coming from both drivers of Harvick and his teammate of Jeff Green. Clearly they don't get along, and you have to wonder if this is going to continue to escalate because now they got both drivers firing at each other on the same weekend. Richard Childress, I would imagine, is going to have to step in and have something to say about this, you know, maybe in the next episode or two, because you can't let this kind of teammate beef continue to go. As we can focus in a little bit on us, we're qualifying here from Indy, but also this weekend we had Jeff Gordon and Juan Pablo Montoya from Formula One do a seat swap. Gordon got behind the wheel of Juan Pablo's Formula One car, and of course Juan Pablo Montoya got behind the wheel of the DuPont 24 Chevrolet. A very cool story there, and something that I am hopeful maybe we can do in the future as well. Jeff Gordon looking for a strong weekend here from Indianapolis now as we come through to the line with a 52.958, and that puts us P16 here in Indianapolis. Not bad at all. And look at this, Tony Raines top 15, but Tony Stewart on pole position over Matt Kenseth in that 17. Now your championship leader, well, I mean, your championship leader second, your second guy in P1 there. Both of these guys up here starting at the front. Let's get ready to go racing here from Indianapolis. And you see as well John Andretti all the way down at the bottom of the grid now, and here we come to the pace laps now from Indianapolis. And boy, this is going to be a fun race. I love these crown jewel events, and we've got an opportunity here to, I think, have a decent run because, I mean, we qualified a bit better than what we usually do. And actually right off the bat, you see Mark Martin right now with some issues there, starting at the back, missing the drivers meeting. So that is going to be something he's going to have to work his way throughout the field. And Mark Martin really just hasn't quite had the speed that number 6 Viagra team has needed all season long. But of course, he's just been consistent enough to run top 10 in the points. Here we go. Green flag is out. We're racing from Indianapolis in the Brickyard 400. Matt Kenseth, Tony Stewart there on the front row on the lead into turn number 1. And who's going to be able to get through out in front? Jeff Gordon. Don't rule him out as well. Things have been kind of changing in the positive for that 24 team here over the course of the last few weeks. And now here we are at a track he's had lots of success at. And could that 24 team maybe get back to victory lane here today from Indy? Tony Stewart, though, clear down the back straightaway. 56 laps of racing here from Indy now as we actually clear the 9 of Bill Elliott here on the run into turn 3. Will be alongside, actually we got 4 rookies right here. You got Biffle, you got McMurray, you got Reigns as well, and McMurray has really been turning it up lately in that number 42 Chip Ganassi Dodge, and I think he's going to give me a run for my money when we get down to the end of the season, potentially for the Rookie of the Year battle. Now, one of the advantages that we have in this Rookie of the Year battle is we got up to such a good start. We fired off really, really well, and then we kind of leveled out, which we had kind of said, in the first 5 races. I was like, we're going to level off at some point. Right on the back as well here of Elliott Sadler on the exit of turn 2 down this back straightaway now, and clearly at 38, great qualifying pace. They're lacking a little bit here on the race pace. This should be a pretty easy pass. I think Tony Raines is also struggling a little bit here, so as I fire one up the inside of this number 38, we're gonna go past him. And as we now move up into P11, you see a bit of a gap to the next guys up ahead. You got the Labonte brothers, Terry in P10, Bobby in P9. But over the course of lap 4, coming to lap 5, and so on and so forth, we're like ever so slightly reeling these guys in. Corner after corner, we're just inching a little bit closer and looking like we honestly might have some top 10 pace here in this Motorcraft 21 Ford Taurus here today from Indy. Now, as we've got problems behind, Craven into the outside wall, tire down, caution is gonna fly here for the first time in Indianapolis now as we get ready to go racing once again now, and that's going to be Ken Schrader coming into the pits. Craven's day is going to be over, and of course everyone else outside of Schrader is going to stay out and get ready to go back racing here. So Tony Stewart leads the field back to green. Jeff Gordon up there to the front row over Matt Kenseth as well. How about Jimmy Johnson? Not quite as much speed as I was expecting to see out of that 48. Johnson's been, so consistent, but it just doesn't seem to matter because right now Matt Kenseth and Tony Stewart are just a bit more consistent, but Johnson's still doing a good job keeping himself in the championship hunt. In just his second full-time season of NASCAR Winston Cup competition now is on lap 8 of this race. We clear the likes of Waltrip and Elliott behind. Now, of course, Bill Elliott recently confirmed it will be his final season of NASCAR Winston Cup Series full-time competition. He made sure to specify full-time because he is going to plan on doing select races for, he said, multiple years to come. But we know Casey Kane will be jumping in behind the wheel of that number 9 next season. That's going to be a lot of excitement to watch him behind the wheel as we now pull up to the back of the number 5 of Terry Labonte, and we expect a lot more silly season to kind of start developing here over the next probably 10 to 15 races, so stay tuned because there's a lot of news on the way. And as we come through to lap 9, well, we got a new leader, boys. The number 17, Matt Kenseth, out into the lead as we actually have a bit of contact right there with the 9 of Elliott, and that allows him and Michael Waltrip to slip through. So as we continue on to lap 12, now settling into 13th, and as these laps are going on, as the tires were wearing, as we're getting closer to pit stops, I am getting a lot looser in this car. So clearly we're going to need an adjustment. We're going to have to tighten up this car, maybe lower some tire pressures, but you can see I'm just sliding around, especially right here off of turn 4, but it was happening pretty well off of every corner at this point in time as we were just at this point hanging on to either the pit stop or a caution that will force that pit stop here now with 42 laps to go in this race now. And you can see the guys in front of us are driving away. Jeff Gordon's around. Jeff Gordon's crashing into the outside wall, and Waltrip gets a piece of it. We split the middle with a bit of contact on the 15, and Jeff Gordon's 24 team season just got worse. It's day over in the Crown Jewel Brickyard 400, a track that's treated Jeff Gordon so well over the years. It's going to be race over for the 24 team here in the Brickyard 400. That is heartbreaking. Unfortunately, that's just the season they've had. We're going to come into the pits though. We're going to make some wedge adjustments up to 50 and down to 35 on the PSI for the right side tire pressures. We actually gained 2 spots. I expect the 15 is going to have a slow restart right here after that contact. We might even struggle a little bit off the grid. Here we go back, and sure enough, that 15 doesn't go. I struggle, but not anywhere close to as much as the 15, so we will be clear. So this really helps us because now we can jump down to the inside here into turn number 1. Jeff Burton there just behind us side by side with wall trip into the corner. Matt Kenseth, though, now that he's got the lead, you have to wonder if he is just going to take control of this race here from Indianapolis. I mean, you know, look back, you know, he's won 3 races in a row. Let's go back 4 races. The race before he finally won in, what was it, Chicago? We had continued to ask the question, was Matt Kenseth going to repeat what he did in real life, where he wins maybe only 1 race that season and win the championship mainly on consistency, because that was how he was in the championship battle. He had not won, and he was up there on consistency. Well, obviously things have completely changed in the last 3 races because he's won all of them. 3 consecutive wins for the DeWalt 17 Ford Roush team, and they have just been pure dominance here in these recent weeks. Now, of course, you know, they've had a little bit of help on their side. Let's look at Pocono last episode. Matt Kenseth, they weren't the fastest car. It was the 12 of Ryan Newman, but of course, late yellows forced Ryan Newman to the outside on a restart. Matt Kenseth was able to capitalize. He wins that race. So he's had a little bit of help in the process, but that's just how it goes. Sometimes, you know, auto racing comes down to, you know, a little bit of luck at the end of the day. Now is losing another spot here to the 9 of Bill Elliott. We were really struggling in this opening part of this run. I was continuing to fade back here as Ryan Newman as well. Speaking of him, just a few moments ago, was actually made a bit of contact with us into turn 1, but he gets through nonetheless, and he moves into P11. We unfortunately continue to drop down the order, but we would kind of flatline right about here in P12. So we were kind of holding our own. Now we got Dave Blaney in the 77 just behind us, having a great run in that Ford as well at this point, just trying to reel back in the Labontes of Terry Labonte specifically now as we come to lap 26, just over 30 laps to go at this point now, and actually Bobby in front of him again. The Labonte brothers continuing to run kind of bumper to bumper throughout this race so far. And as we come to lap 27 now, look at my mirror though, we got a mirror full of Dave Blaney. That's 77's shown up to fight here, and he might even have some top 10 pace, but the caution is out and it's for the 12. It's Ryan Newman, smoke pouring out of the back, and that's going to be a yellow engine issue for Newman. Not, I don't believe, going to be the end of the race for him. I forgot to show it for whatever reason. I pitted for 4 tires and fuel. So we gained 3 positions, and we move into the top 10 again. P9 as we're back underway here from Indianapolis. It's going to be 27 laps to go here from Indy. Matt Kenseth controls the restart into turn 1. Tony Stewart on his outside as Bill Elliott there is going to drop back a little bit from the lows. 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Kevin Harvick up there in the mix as well. Don't rule out that 48. How about, all right, or the 29. How about the 8 of Dale Jr. up there? The 2 of Rusty Wallace up there as well. Wallace has been having a few good runs. I mean, had a great run last episode in Pocono, and here he is up front as well, having another good run again now, as it's been, you know, very, very kind of down season for that 2 team, but they're turning things up a little bit now, and Ryan Newman has been, of course, the guy that's had all the success at Penske Racing this season, but it seems like whatever the success has been for the 12 seems to be over these last couple of races starting to translate to the 2 team as well, because they're starting to find some good runs here now. Unfortunately, we're struggling off this restart again now, and Dave Blaney was able to go by on the outside, and Terry Labonte to my left side here with 26 to go. Here comes Todd Bodine and Mark Martin just behind, and as well Jeff Burton side by side with him behind us as we continue on towards turn number 2. How about Burton? Now, of course, a couple wins on the season for the 99 of Jeff Burton. At one point, Jeff Burton had the most wins of anybody this season, of course, but of course now Matt Kenseth has taken that throne. But Roush has had a very, very interesting season because Burton as well as Kenseth have run very well. Mark Martin's been kind of, you know, mediocre at times. Biffle has been very hit or miss, and same for Kurt Busch. It's not been a great season for the 97, and honestly the highlight of that 97 season so far was actually when Carl Edwards hopped in that car just a few races ago in New Hampshire when Kurt Busch was out on injury. But unfortunately for us, we dropped to 16th by lap 32, but caution comes out. That helps us. It's a 10 of Johnny Benson. Tire down into turn 3, and now we will all stay out and get ready to go green for another restart. So as we get ready to go here from P16, well, kind of back to where we started on lap 1, but I'm confident we can rally our way back now as a green flag is out one more time here from Indianapolis now. McMurray to my left behind us. You got the 30 of Jeff Green and as well the 25 of Joe Nemechek, and we know Nemechek is already on the way out at Hendrick Motorsports at the conclusion of this 2003 season, as now Green's going to go forward into turn number 2 here. Mark Martin there in the number 6 Viagra colors, still trying to rally himself up towards the top 10 running position. Into the outside wall, just in front of him was the 54 of Bodine, and as we would continue on this outside lane here, unfortunately Mayfield's going to get past us, and now the 25 of Joe Nemechek's going to pull up alongside us and pass us as well, and I finally get back down to the inside. Matt Kenseth continues to control this race now with just over 20 laps to go, and ever since he got the lead, he has not been able to be passed so far. Ryan Newman bouncing back from his engine issue, and now he goes around the outside through turn 2, and he's going to be able to continue to work his way forward in that number 12, and while he'll get right to the back of the 25 right there, couldn't quite get around him quite yet, but of course it's just a matter of time. I expect that 12's probably going to rally back to a top 10 maybe before this is over. I say that, but 18 laps to go at Indy, and it's pretty hard to pass at this racetrack, so that might be a bit more of a tough feat because he's got to gain 8 spots in 18 laps. But as we continue on, expecting as well potential for some green flag pit stops at some point in this race now, but we haven't seen it yet today. We're running P20 now, fighting with the Havoline 42 Dodge of Jamie McMurray, and well, hasn't quite turned into the day that I've been hoping for because, in the first 5 laps I said, you know what, we got a shot to finish top 10, and now here we are running 20th. It just hasn't quite seemed to work out. The restarts have kind of gone against us a little bit as well, as we will clear this 42 off turn 2. There we go, into P19. So now we can go run down Joe Nemechek. And passing, like I said, it's not easy here in Indianapolis, and you can have the speed, but then it's just hard to get forward. And once you can gain 1 spot, you can just go up and run down that next car, but then you got to work a few laps on passing them. So now here we are with the 25 of Joe Nemechek, and we're going to have to work on passing him. We'll pull alongside and lean a little bit on that quarter panel and door, try to side draft him into turn number 3. He actually takes a bit of a wide entrance, which, look in the mirror, he's kind of slow right there because of that, but he hangs on my right rear. But we should be able to clear him if we lunge here into turn 4. Yes, we'll clear the number 25, move up into P18. And by lap 43, right on the back now of Jeremy Mayfield's number 19 Dodge as well, and we continue to carve our way back forward, but obviously running out of time. We're also closing in on green flag pit stops as well. So by lap 44, the tire and the fuel warning lights on, but we got a caution, and I was about to mention we just had some cars pitting, but around goes green. Caution is out. We had already had a couple of cars come in, including Dale Earnhardt Jr. Matt Kenseth and Tony Stewart actually had hit the pit lane maybe a second before the yellow flag went out, and that is going to be crucial because they can complete their pit stops under green. Look at this right here. They get in, and the pit light, or the yellow light all the way down there just goes yellow, so they do cross the line, and that allows them to stay in front. Matt Kenseth, Tony Stewart will lead the field back to green. Dale Jr. jumps all the cars that had to pit right there under caution, and we end up still in P17 after all was said and done with 9 laps to go here into turn 1. So Matt Kenseth, Tony Stewart, they just kind of won the lottery on that one because they got a free pit stop there, did not have to worry about losing track position, and now here they are back up front. Now Kevin Harvick still up there in third. Dale Jr., he went to P6, so he pitted a lap before that yellow had completed his pit stop, stayed on the lead lap, and ends up in P6 for this restart. Now look at this, Sterling Marlin. I believe he was one of the guys that maybe got to stay out because he is slow into turn 3, and you see the cold symbol there, so we're going to be able to breeze past that Coors Light number 40, and now we move up into 13th. What a restart now, but Ryan Newman fires one back up my inside here now, and we're going to be really tight on the exit of turn 4, nearly catch the wall with the quarter panel, and we drop down to 14th. Watching Newman continuing to rip forward into the 12th position, and now here we are to the back of the 99 of Jeff Burton in that Roush number 99 Ford, that is, watching his teammate Matt Kenseth going for 4 in a row to match a modern era record of Jeff Gordon set in 1998. clear into turn 3 is Dave Blaney on myself now, so we drop back to 15th, and Blaney we know is fast, and with now coming to 5 laps to go, now he passes Burton, who leaves the door wide open for us, and looks like we might rebound to a relatively respectable result here now, as we're going to be wheel to wheel with this 99 on the run down this back straightaway. Obviously the momentum in his favor, so we are going to side draft him a little bit here on the run into turn number 3, wheel to wheel racing with this 99 now. 2 wins we talked about on the season for Burton. Obviously today not even a top 10 day that they've got going for them, as we're going to try and force the issue. Contact on the exit of turn 4, my right rear to his left front. We'll continue side by side down the front straightaway. 5 laps to go for Matt Kenseth now into turn 1. We're going to lean on the 99, try to side draft him, bit of contact into turn 1, sliding goes the 99, spinning he goes, caution is out. Oh boy. I need you guys to apologize immediately to him. I'm going to talk to him after the race. That was not intentional. I am so sorry. That was absolutely not even close to intentional, and I am very much immediately on the radio saying, hey, that was not on purpose. I already know I'm on probation for the rest of the season after my suspension. I do not want to violate that, so I am hopeful that I just didn't get myself in more trouble with NASCAR, but I'm hoping that my remorse on the radio will help our situation, and we're going to go have a conversation with Jeff Burton as soon as this race is over. Nonetheless, we got a race to finish, and fortunately Burton's still right here, so I'll be completely honest, I'm going to roll over for this 99 and let him go through and have the position gladly as like, I'm sorry. You go through, you take it, I'm not going to pass you back. We'll just hang on to wherever we are right here in P16. Now, we got a race for the win. I say race for the win. He's clear. The number 17, Matt Kenseth, is driving away with 2 laps to go. In regulation, we are not in an overtime scenario, and Matt Kenseth looks like he might do it. 4 in a row. What a story that would be as he rolls through turn number 4. Approaching the final lap, Kevin Harvick is up to 2nd position now as we'll head down this front straightaway. Now a run to the back of the 99. Obviously, we're not going to make a move here at this point. We're just going to ride it out and finish this race as strong as possible. 1 lap to go here from the Brickyard 400, and Matt Kenseth on a day where Jeff Gordon faces heartbreak of another failure on the season. Well, it looks like Matt Kenseth is about to match his modern era record if he can just hang on a little bit longer now as he exits turn 2, clear of the field, down this back straightaway one more time. We're right on the back of the 99 and the 18 of Bobby Labonte now running P16, the same spot as where we started. Looks like it's going to be ending up where we finish as well. Through 3, one more time for Kenseth. He's got about 3 car lengths on the 29, and then it's Dale Earnhardt Jr. looking to maybe steal P2 from Harvick. Through 4, but I don't think he's going to do it. But what is going to happen is Matt Kenseth is going to tie a modern era record. He is going to come down the front straightaway to win the Brickyard 400 and win his 4th consecutive race here in the Winston Cup Series. What a season this has turned into for the 17 team. Matt Kenseth wins it all over the likes of Harvick, Earnhardt, as well as Tony Stewart, as we settle for a 16th place result. And I immediately went to Jeff Burton and we had a conversation after the race, and he actually accepted my apology, saying, I know you didn't mean to do it, you were just side drafting me. Obviously, I think we're still gonna have to make it up to him, but he did accept and acknowledge the apology. I am happy to mention that, as Matt Kenseth, 8 points, even after 4 consecutive wins, is only 8 points in front of Tony Stewart, with a little bit of work still to be done for Johnson, Harvick, Newman, Earnhardt, and Elliott as well. That's going to do it for me. I don't think Kenseth's going to break the record because we're going road racing in Watkins Glen next episode, which is an opportunity for us. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. Chasing glory, claim the checkered crown.